Okay, here we go. Welcome everyone to the February recap video here today. So I did a January recap video several weeks ago, at sort of the end of January. So this is the recap video for February, just seeing how my passive income has changed. My total amount of cash has changed. Obviously, the goal of this series is to increase those numbers as much as I can. So we're going to take a look at both of those. So this is going to be the recap video for the month of February and see how I did financially. I'm going to be testing out some different ways of doing this recap video. Obviously, last time I just kind of walked around with the camera and stuff and showed the graphs or whatever on my computer. This time, I'm doing it in kind of a PowerPoint format. So I'm just kind of throwing around some different ideas of how I want to make these videos. If I want to do something like this again, or I just screen record and stuff, or if I want to do more of like in-person video, or maybe a mix of both. I don't really know. So I'm just going to be testing out some things probably in the next coming months. So that's that. So let's get right into it. February recap. So here's what we're going to look at. We're going to review sort of what my predictions were for this month. Then we're going to see how I actually did, see if I was correct in those projections or if I did better or worse. We're going to set some predictions for March and sort of take a look at how things are looking for the next few months. We're going to take a look at some of the financial goals that I made for this year that I talked about in earlier videos, and then a brief channel update on some things, just sort of the direction of this channel, stuff like Xiaogai Shinro. So definitely stay tuned till the end of the video for that. So I guess with that out of the way, I say let's just get right to it. So we are going to, actually let me go back up. We're going to review the February estimates first. Is kind of the predictions I made at the end of last month. I kind of talked about it probably a little bit in the January recap video, what my guess was for how I was going to do. So this is the prediction that I made for in regards to my monthly passive income. Obviously, in January, I hit an all-time high, $412.02 in a month. And then I took a good chunk of money out from my bank accounts to do some stock trading. So my money was out of my account, so it wasn't earning that interest for quite some time. So that's why I projected a 15% drop. I was expecting to make about $350 in passive income this month. And also a brief disclaimer here, obviously, we'll see if I get this video uploaded tonight. It is February 29th. It's technically not March 1st, which is, I guess, when the month technically ends/starts. But I won't be spending I technically will be spending some money today, but I'll be paying for it in the month of March. So that's why, even though this video is technically coming out like a day early, it doesn't really matter that much because the numbers won't change. But anyways, so I was predicting about $350, a 15% drop. So we will see how what it actually was. In the end, though, even though this does look like a bad number, it really is a good thing. It actually worked out really well because I actually made over like $300 from that stock trading that I did with that money. So even though I projected a $60, $70 decrease here, I actually made like over $300 from it. So this was a bad decrease. This minus 7.4%. That's just from me being stupid, I guess. This it would decrease, but it made sense because I was able to make more money in the long run off of it. But yeah, so then looking at the net worth, just total amount of money I have. This was on January 1st, February 1st, and then the projected for March 1st. So obviously from January to February, I made a 3.14% gain. Talked about that in the January recap. And I projected a 3% increase for this month. Kind of what went into that. After I made that, I was kind of like regretting. I was like, maybe that was a little too much. I thought I was gonna change it to like maybe 2.5%, but I stuck with 3%, and so that would get me to $118,433. And obviously, the goal is to eventually get to 140,000. That's kind of the goal that I'm shooting for. It's going to be tough, but we'll see if I can do it. But regardless, a 3% gain would be good, no matter what. So, kind of what went into making that decision. Some expenses that I was looking at having this month. I was supposed to have a dentist appointment, and it was going to cost me like $200-300, but I had to reschedule that till April, so that kind of got put off. And then I was going to do my taxes, and I was expecting to pay about $500 something from that, from all the interest and extra money that I made last year. So I was kind of expecting a lot of those things to really be some big expenses this month. So that's why that number wasn't higher. And I have been working a lot, so that's why the number isn't too low. So that was the projection I made, 3%. I kind of wavered on it a little bit after I made that projection. I can't say the word now, projection, but I ended up sticking with it, and that's that. So let's look at the actual results. Those were the projections, a 3% projection on the total cash and a negative 15% projection on the passive income. So let's see what actually happened. How did I actually do this month? Did I outperform? Did I underperform? Was my guesses just about right? Well, let's see. First, the passive income, and I have to say, I did not believe it when I first saw this number. It actually really confused me. I had to double check my math. As you can see, I extremely overperformed. I'm shocked by this number. I really cannot believe it. Instead of a 15% drop like I thought, I dropped 1.33%. I still don't really know what to say about that. I don't know. I don't know how that happened, but because I had a lot of money out of my one account for like half a month, so I'm shocked that my other accounts, I guess, made up for it. I don't know, but I was not expecting. I was expecting to beat that negative 15% number, but not nearly this much. I was thinking I'd maybe end up like down like 11 or 12%. But this was a huge shock to me. $406.55. That's less than $6 away from an all-time high. So that's crazy. Honestly, it's still my second highest ever. Yeah, I don't really know what to say. That was a huge success, I guess. Outperformed my expectations by like 13.5%. So that's pretty crazy, and that gives me a lot of hope for the future. But we'll get into the future projections in a minute or two here. So yeah, that was a huge success this month. To only lose out on like $6 or $7, and still with that money I made $300 some off of trading stocks. That's huge. So that was ended up being a great decision on my part. Although I'm not really planning to do anything like that again, at least for the next few months here. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, just wow. Very happy to see that number. That gives me a lot of good hope for the future. But now, the next thing, looking at my total cash, and if I thought I outperformed this one, I outperformed way more on this. This one was kind of staggering. From February 1st to March 1st, I gained 6.5%. That's more than double my projection of 3%. But one little caveat there, as you can see, I have this true percentage number. I'll get into that in a second. But my total number here, I went from $114,983 to today $121,950. So that's a big improvement, obviously, up 6%. But now, why do I have these two numbers here, 6.05 and 4.46? This is sort of the true percentage gain that I made this month, just from, obviously making money and not spending money. This, what would this be, about 1.5%-ish, the difference between these two? Where does this number come from? That's actually just sort of a classification change, I guess. One of my goals has been to get 100 shares of the stock/ETF called SCHX. And originally, I was not the money that I'm using to buy those shares. I wasn't going to count that money in this series, but I ended up actually deciding to count it. I wasn't going to count it at first because I wasn't sure how I would count it. Because obviously, you can buy a stock for, let's say, $100, and then the value of it will change, go up and down as time goes on. So it's like, how can I constantly keep track of that? But I decided to just track the amount that I paid into it. So let's say I had $100 that I paid to buy that share, and then the value is going up and down, but I just track it as $100 because most likely it's going to go up in value over time. So I'm just going to just assume what I paid into it is what it's going to be. So in theory, I should have more than what I track, but yeah, I don't know. But that money that I am putting into that's buying into those stocks, I did decide to track it now. But I'm not tracking its true value, just sort of what I paid to buy the stock. So that's what that was. So if I didn't really feel like going back and changing the totals for each of these first two months, I guess. So that's why I just decided to add it all in on this one. So that's why it's up to 6.05%. If I didn't do that, I would just have a 4.46%. So that's why I say that's the true percentage gain, whereas this is just changed from me just deciding to actually count that set of money. But regardless, 4.46% with a 3% projection, that's still really overperforming by almost 1.5%. Either way, I am extremely happy with this. The 6.5% is crazy, obviously. That's the biggest percent I will probably ever see for the rest of my life, unless I win the lottery or something. But still, 4.46 is huge to outperform by 1.5%, especially when you get up into over $100,000. 1% is over $1,000, so I outperformed by over $1,000. So in total, that puts me up to 9.39% year to date, meaning from this number on January 1st to here now on today, I've gone up 9.39%, and my sort of total goal of 140,000, that would be a 25% increase. So what is that? That's over a third of the way there. So I've really been killing it these first 2 months here. So I'm very happy about that. And I guess how did I get to this? How did I overperform so much? Obviously, I explained that part there with the stock money. But this, in general, how did I just overperform? Like I said, I did have a dentist appointment that I was expecting to pay $200-300, but that got pushed back to April, so I didn't have to pay that. Then the other big expense I was expecting was to pay quite a bit of money in taxes, because I did make a good amount of interest and stuff, other money from stocks and stuff last year. So I was expecting to pay about $600 when I did my taxes. However, my regular tax return, just on money I had taken, my money that I had from my regular job, just the money that had been taken out of there for taxes, I guess was so much that it actually covered all those other taxes that I would have to pay. So instead of paying like $600, I actually gained. I got $300 back. Technically $400, but I had to pay $100 to use the sort of tax software that I used to file my taxes. So really, I was expecting to lose $600, but I somehow gained $300. So that right there is almost $1,000 difference right there. That was the biggest part of this number. That and just I did work a lot, so I did have some really big paychecks. So that's how that happened. Big overperformance this month. Super happy about it. But I think that's probably all I can say. Just a really good first 2 months here, up 3%, then plus 6%, really. But technically only plus 4. But when you add that in, it's still up 9%, which is huge. So I guess that's a good recap of that. So let's get into what we're predicting for next month, for the month of March. And let's get right to the passive income. This time I'm projecting 3.3% up, which would put me to exactly $420. Why did I pick that number? Because I still don't think we're going to see the full potential of sort of my passive income until April. I still did have a decent amount of money out of my accounts for stock trading stuff for this upcoming month of March for the passive income, because my one bank account pays out the interest on the 8th of every month. So it's really all the money sitting in the month before that determines what it's going to be. So I'll get paid on March 8th, but I'm getting paid for all the money that I had in there in February. So I still did have a good amount of money in February out of there for like a week or so. So I'm still going to lose some of it, but we're going to see. So I'm projecting a modest increase, 3.3%, which is still would be about an all-time high by $8. So still really good, but the month of April, I'm really thinking is going to be a huge jump up. I don't know. It's hard to say what. We'll just have to see what this month turns out, this next month here in March turns out to be. But I really think when April comes around, it's going to be a big increase. I can't put a true number on it, but I could say upwards of 430, 440, maybe. Actually, I don't know if I want to go that high, but that's why I'm not making an official prediction on April yet. Just March. So I think getting to this point should be doable. So that's what I'm projecting. What's going to help this number sort of go up is March is sort of a weird. Actually, I'll get into that in this next slide here as we look at my projection for March for my sort of total income or my total amount of money. I am projecting 4% growth again, which is kind of a big number. And if I do it, it would put me up 13.77% year to date, which is over halfway to my goal of 25%, which gets us to 140,000. So why do I have such a big projection this time? I get paid every 2 weeks, and that equates to 26 times a year. 26 divided by 12 months is 24. So 2 times a month. That's 2 paychecks a month, but I get paid 26 times a year. So there's two left over. So there is 2 months out of the year where I get 3 paychecks, and March is the first of those months. I get paid tomorrow on March 1st, and then in the middle of the month, and then right at the very end of the month. So with 3 paychecks, that's obviously going to be really helped me grow it a lot this month. I made 4.46% last month with 2 paychecks. So I think with 3 paychecks, it should be doable. And I don't have any major expenses that I can think of for the month of March, aside from, the things I pay every single month. Nothing like I don't have, obviously not expecting to pay for taxes. I don't have that dentist appointment until April. I don't have any big expenses that I can think of until April. So I think 4% should actually be doable, which, like I said, would be huge. They'd give me up 13% on the year. So just having a really strong first part of the year here, up 3%, up 6%. And if I can go up 4% again, that would be absolutely huge. So that's what I'm gonna try and push for. Obviously, expenses do come up. I've had surprise expenses this month, and thankfully none of them were very expensive. And I'm sure that I will have surprise expenses in March. But I still think 4% is a good prediction. I try to be a little conservative with these predictions. Like I don't want to go too high, but I just give myself a decent sort of baseline to beat. And yeah, so that's what we're gonna go with. We're gonna shoot for 4%. That would get us to $126,828 if I can do it. So you just got to take it one day at a time, 1 week at a time for the next 31 days or 30 days. I don't even know, and hopefully we can pull it off. So those are the projections, I guess. Up 4% for this next month and up 3% with the passive income. I think those should both hopefully be beatable. But I just gotta do my best and see what happens. So those are the official projections for March. So just looking even further out, sort of see what the general plan is here for the future. As you can see, first for the passive income, March, we're looking at getting a modest all-time high here. Hopefully around $420-ish. So hopefully that's doable, and that will kind of set the expectations for April, because like I said, April I really think we're going to see the true extent of what I can make passively, because I will have all my money in my accounts to be earning interest this time, which I haven't had since like January or December, I think. And I'll have gotten paid three more paychecks in the month of March to sort of really add into that. So I think we're going to see a modest size little jump here to an all-time high in March, and then I think we're really going to see a big explosion in April. Like I said, I don't really have an idea of what to even predict for that yet, so I'm going to wait till next month at the March recap to sort of give a guess as to what that's going to be. But right now, it's looking really, really good. The numbers just gonna keep growing. But so what's sort of the big obstacles in my way for the passive income? What's gonna prevent me from making more money in the future? 2 things: rate cuts and my IRA payments. I will get into the IRA payment in a minute or two. But basically, I'm saving up money to put into my IRA, which is a retirement account. And I'm going to be putting in $5,800 when I get all that money saved up. Right now, I'm earning an average of 4.5-ish% interest rates across my accounts. So I will actually pull up my phone right here and do the math. So $1,000. 4.5 is 45 divided by 12. I'm making $3.75 per month for every $1,000 I have. And if I take that times $5,800, which would be 5.8, that's $21.75. So whenever I make that payment, my passive income is going to drop roughly $22 a month. So if I go back here and let's say I get $420 and then I make that payment, my passive income would then drop down to just under $400. So that's kind of a big decrease there. That's yeah, but it's gonna happen. Nothing I can really do about that. It'll set me back in the short term, but I can always recover from that, obviously, and I will over time. Um, so that's not something I'm terribly worried about. I mean, it is a difference of, like I said, only $20-ish per month, which isn't the end of the world. So that'll be a minor setback. That's probably going to happen in like May, but I don't really know for sure yet. But that's the short term problem. The long term problem is interest rate cuts, and basically it's pretty much guaranteed that interest rates are going to drop over time. The question is how fast and how much are they going to. Right now, they're fairly steady at the moment, but they are going to decrease probably as the year goes on. I follow this website here to sort of track sort of the sort of probabilities of what's going to happen with the interest rates. As you can see, the next time they decide what to do with the interest rates is in 20 days in the month of March. And we just see sort of the probabilities of where things are going to be after that sort of March meeting. This is what the interest rate is right now, 525 to 550, and it's being predicted. Basically, there's a 97.5% chance that it's still going to be that after this March meeting. As you can see, then there's all the changes, how that percentage has changed over time. Obviously, it's gone a lot higher as it seems inflation is sort of sticking around here and isn't going away as fast as they would have liked. But so yeah, this was kind of expected. Really, was looking like the month of May here was going to be the first one where a rate cut could happen. But that's what it did look like. As you can see, if you look back here in this, how it was a month ago. A month ago, it looked like it was, but now it's starting to look more like it might get pushed off through that month even too. And it's looking like not even till June here is the first time where we could see a rate cut. But obviously, there's a lot of things that can change. There's a lot of time until then. So just a decent guideline to follow, but nothing is guaranteed, I guess. But yeah, we'll look into this more. We should learn a lot more about after the sort of March meeting about what's going to happen. So then we'll see. And it looks like it would only be a 0.25% drop. So that would drop maybe my accounts from like on average of 4.5% to an average of like 4.25%, which isn't, would also be probably like a $25-$30 drop for me. So that's obviously $25-$30. That's not the end of the world, but obviously I should have showed that. Over time, obviously, it's just going to keep dropping further. So it's like there's the first drop in June to 500 to 525. If we go all the way to December, it's projected to drop down to even 450 to 475. So that's almost a full percent drop over the course of the year. So yeah, hopefully I would like to, as if it can just keep getting pushed off as long as possible. This graph can keep going up, and it because if they keep cutting interest rates, this graph might start to turn the other way, and it would be more so it's dropping as interest rates get cut, but me trying to fight back against it. But so at least for the coming months, I'll still be okay. But as we get towards summer, things might get a little more interesting. So we'll have to see what happens with that. So that's really it for passive income. We're doing really well in the short term. In the long term, though, there is a few concerns. So we'll just have to wait and see on that. Now, as for my net worth, obviously, I'm off to a really good start this year. January was a good month, up 3%. This was an insane month, up 6%. And the month of March is looking to be another really good month, up 4%. So I'm well on my way towards reaching my goal. However, the one big challenge that I'm gonna face is the IRA payment that I talked about, because I'm gonna pay $5,800 into that, and that if I did that right now, that would drop my numbers by 4.75%. So nearly a 5% drop. That's if I do have a good month next month and I get to that 5% drop, that drops me all the way back down to 8%. That's actually lower than what I was here at the end of this month. So that's something that I'm really not looking forward to. So that's pretty much going to wipe out an entire month of gains, I guess. So it's certainly whenever I decide to make that payment that month, I'm definitely going to be in the red. I'm going to be negative for the whatever month I do that, because I don't see myself making more than $5,800 in pure profit in a month. That would be over like a 6% gain, I guess. So that's not going to happen again. So when am I going to make that payment? I guess tentatively, I was thinking about doing it in May, but we'll just have to see. Haven't really decided too much yet. So other long-term challenges, work hours. Right now I'm getting plenty of work, so I'm making a lot of money. However, there always is a chance that could change. I technically still am part-time at my job, even though I still do work almost full-time hours a good majority of the time, but they're not guaranteed. So there always is a chance that could drop off, but I have been saving up some annual sort of leave that I have. That way, if, for some reason I do lose a bunch of hours, I can use that to still make some money. But we're just going to see how that goes. I think because a lot of my gains that I made so far has come from just working so much. I think that's going to drop off a little bit here in March, but I still should make enough to make it a good month. But April and May, though, are going to be some problem months here. April, obviously, I'm going to have quite a few expenses in this month. I'm going to have to buy new tires for my car that month. That could be up to $900. I got that dentist appointment that got moved there. That could be another $300. And just all the other stuff. It's going to be a lot of expenses that month. So that month, like I said, I'm not going to make an official prediction yet, but that month I'm just hoping to have a positive number by the end of it. If I can even get like 1%, I would be very happy. But we're going to enjoy the month of March 1st, have some more good gains that month, and then we'll worry about April. But that's going to be the first real problem month. And then May, I can't think of any huge expenses for the month of May, but that's kind of when I'm predicting to make this IRA payment. So that would put that month in the red too. So I really don't want to have two negative months in a row. That would be bad. So I'm really going to try hard in the month of April to keep that a positive month, even if it's just by a little, even if I can just tack on a few tenths of a percent or just 1%, to really try and soften the blow of making that IRA payment in May. So that's the general plan for now. But obviously anything can change. Had a great start to the year, but looks like it could be kind of a correction here with some tough months ahead. So we're going to see what happens. Now my 2024 goals, my financial goals, the $400 in monthly passive income, we achieved that. In the month of January, we're going to see how high we can push it. Like I said, the month of April is going to be a real true test to see how far we can push it. I don't know. Can we push it to 340? 440, maybe 450. We're going to have to wait and see. I don't know. Either way, I'm already very happy with that. Now it's, I don't have a clear goal at this point. I don't have a clear goal of like $450 or $500 now. I just want to build it up as much as I can so that when the rate cuts do happen, it softens the blow a little bit. Second goal, $140,000 total cash. Obviously, that's kind of the point of this video and this recap series. So right now we're doing pretty good, but obviously we got some tough months ahead. But so far we're doing good. 100 shares of SCHX. I'm doing insanely well on that right now. I've got 32 shares out of the 100 that I want to get to by the end of the year. That's just about a third of the way there, and we're only 2 months into the year, so I'm like 2 months ahead of schedule right now. So March is going to be another good month. I think March I should have at least 45 shares, maybe 50 maximum. So we could possibly get halfway there by the end of March, which is huge. So like I said, we're gonna see what happens. Anything can happen, but yeah. And then my fourth goal is to max out my Roth IRA, which is that $5,800 payment. I've been saving up money for it, and have $4,083 at the moment. Like I said, I do get paid tomorrow, my first paycheck out of 3 for the month of March. I'm going to be putting $800 towards this, so that gives me to just under $1,000 to go. So I could potentially finish this by the end of March. I could have the money for it. So I don't know. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, but I don't know. So I still have some more thinking about it to do when I want to make that payment. I could make the payment in April, or actually, I don't know. I'd say right now we're sticking to May on that, but we're just going to see how that goes. But yeah, I'm going to max it out. It's basically guaranteed at this point. So really happy about that I've been able to achieve this goal so fast. I'm doing really well on all these goals so far. But like I said, it's been a great first 2 months. The third month in March here is looking to be another great month. But April and May could be some tough months ahead. So, but we're gonna worry about that later. So yeah, and that's an update on the goals. And finally, a channel update. Obviously, I'm gonna keep going with these monthly recap videos for now. I don't have any other series planned at the moment, but something might come up if I get any ideas. And probably the biggest news, Xiaogai Shinro 30 announcement. I have a few things to announce here. Good news, bad news. But here it is. So Xiaogai Shinro Season 30, the 30th anniversary, big tournament. It has been filmed. Xiaogai Shinro 30 has been filmed. And all I'm going to say about it for now, the only bad news, it is the release of the tournament is going to be probably significantly delayed. Half of it's because I just don't have much time to edit as I did in the past, so it's going to take a while. That, and it's the 30th tournament, so I want to do a lot of editing on it to make it better. So I'm going to take my time with it. So I like I said, I don't have a set release date, but what I can guarantee is there will be a trailer released in the month of March. That's all I can say about that for now. I'm just going to keep working on editing it, and whenever it gets done, then we will get it released. But should be a good tournament. Like I said, it has been filmed. Just got to do the editing. Expect a trailer in the month of March, and yeah, we'll see from there. It might come April, might come May. Who knows? We'll see how fast I get it done. But it has been filmed and it is happening. So look forward to that. Look forward to a trailer. Thank you guys for watching this sort of monthly recap video for February. It probably went on pretty long, I think, but it was a good way to really look at how I did this month. And we'll do the same next month and each month this year to see how I do over the course of a year. Great start to the year. Like I showed, up 9%. We'll be hitting all-time highs here soon on the passive income too. March should be another great month. So we're going to look forward to that. And then after that, we'll worry about April and May. So thank you guys for watching this one. And I will see you guys next month. But probably for a Xiaogai Shinro trailer first. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.